Hi everybody, welcome back to the 13 Haunted Projects of Halloween series. And as you see, I finished the wreath that I was working on last week. And I made the bow. We actually made a bow in last week's video for this wreath. So if you missed the bow making video, I'm going to post a link below this one. You can head on over and check it out so you can create your bow. But I'm going to show you how to put this whole entire wreath together. I just thought we would make the bow last week to save us a little bit of time. So I used some berries, some black roses, and they have like orange glittery accents, some black leaves, and more of the ribbon underneath the flowers. And this is what we're going to make. I think it came out kind of cute. So let me set this aside. Okay. I'm going to show you some of the supplies I'm using. I have a wire frame, and I got this wreath form at the Dollar Tree. It's a 14-inch wreath form. Let me just clip off the little price tag there. So we're going to be using this. I'm using 10-inch black mesh, and I'm also using 21-inch orange. Now, I couldn't find orange in the 10-inch, so I decided to use my 21-inch. Worked out fine. So you can use two different sizes. I would just suggest not going any smaller than 10 inches, or you're going to get too many on each section, and you may need to use more mesh. Okay, so I'm using 10-inch black, 21-inch orange. You could use 10-inch of both if you have them. 21-inch of both might be okay, but it might get a little thick and bulk, a little too thick in this section here. So I would suggest 10-inch if you have it. Okay, I'm also using some Chanel pipe cleaners, Chanel stems. I get these at Hobby Lobby, the value pack. You get 140 pieces in a pack, and it's normally $3.99, but if you watch their sales, a lot of times they go 50% off, and then you can get yourself a bunch of different packs. So I'm using black, and I'm also using orange. You don't have to use both. I just like to. You could just use all black or all orange. Entirely up to you. Also, this little handy dandy holder here is actually a ribbon container. I finished the ribbon and I tore one of the ends off, and I just use this for my Chanel stems while I'm working. Okay. I also found these really cute black roses. They have they're a little bit like orange glitter tipped. And these are Maker's Halloween decor. And I got these last year on clearance from Joann's. We're going to be using 4 of these. So I'm going to pull off 4 roses. And then on these roses, they had these black leaf stems, and I pulled off about 10 of these. So I'm using about 10 black leaf stems and 4 of the roses. You guys can decorate your wreath however you'd like. I'm just showing you the materials that I used. And then I'm also using these vanilla colored berries. I got 8 in a pack, and I got these on clearance at Joann's a long time ago. Now you can find vanilla colored berries or cream, whatever you want to call them, Usually you can find these when they sell the fall flowers. Near the fall flowers, actually, they have stems of orange and greens and browns. I'm using cream because in our bow recreated, I have cream colored, and I kind of wanted to pull that out of the ribbon itself. So you'll need some of these. I'm going to try to open the bag. I know it's kind of noisy there. I'll just cut it. And all of this stuff we're going to be using towards the end. So I'm actually going to set it aside for now. I make a lot of wreaths for friends and family and customers and my craft shows, but I haven't really done any wreath tutorials, so I thought it might be fun to give it a go and see how it goes. Okay, also with these same ribbons I used to create my bow, I made 1, 2, 3, and we're going to make this one together 4 of these little ribbon clusters. I'm going to show you how to do that first, and then we're going to start our mesh on the wreath. I use these ribbon clusters in the wreath, and then I put the black rose in the center, which you'll see when we do. Okay, so in order to make these, I cut from each pattern of ribbon a piece about 8 inches long. And all I did was I stacked them and I kind of crisscrossed the patterns. Like that. Pinch them together in the center. Get one of your pipe cleaners. This is a half of a pipe cleaner, and then just twist. And then you're going to cut your little banner pieces on them like we did for the ribbon. And I have one left, I'll show you. Just cut it like that. And it opens up. Again, put these 2 edges together. Trim it at an angle, and you'll end up with the 2 banner pieces. Also, because my ribbon frays, I took my lighter. Be very careful if you do this. You don't want to light your ribbon on fire, and you don't want to burn your hands. But I just put them together, and I kind of just ran my lighter over them to seal the ends of the ribbons so that they wouldn't fray. I did that on all of these and the ends of the bow. Now I haven't trimmed my bow tails at all because I actually like to put it on the wreath to see what it looks like before I do any kind of trimming. Okay, so you're going to need 4 of these ribbon clusters, and we're going to set those aside. You're also going to need some zip ties. I get my zip ties at the Dollar Tree and Walmart, depending what the Dollar Tree has. And I think I got these black ones at Walmart, but you're going to need about 4 of these. We're going to start off with 2. And like I said, you're going to need a bunch of these pipe cleaners. You just take one, kind of bend it in half, and cut it. You're going to need a lot of these, so you want to prepare ahead of time and stick them in there. So we're cutting all of these in half. And let's get started on our wreath. So the wreath form has a well. If you can see, it's kind of rounded at the top. We're going to have the rounded part facing up. We're also going to secure our mesh to these crossbars here. It just secures it a little bit easier. Alright, so let me lay out my orange. We'll start with that. I'm just going to pinch this together. This kind of ended a little wonky here. So I'm going to trim that up. Okay, so once you pinch it together, these two center bars are the bars that we're going to be working with, not this inner one and not this outer one. Right here is your crossbar. We're going to go to the outer edge with the orange, lay the mesh right over that. You're going to want to get your pipe cleaner. I'm going to show you how to do this before I actually put the mesh on. Pretend your mesh is here. You're going to get a pipe cleaner and feed it through here, go through that crossbar, and come back up. Okay, so you're at that crisscross there. You're going to lay your mesh right in there and secure it to the crossbar. Whoop. Trying to hold this part a little closer so I don't have to keep zooming. Pull it nice and tight. And then I'm going to go in and trim that. And I like to kind of put that down so it's not facing up and getting in our way. You're going to do the same thing to this crossbar here with your black mesh. Pinch it together. I like to put my mesh roll on the floor when I'm working. Put it right next to it. Again with the pipe cleaner, go in and make sure you're in that crossbar area. Just stays a little bit more secure when you do that. Put your pipe cleaner in, or put your zip tie, sorry, and pull it nice and tight. Trim off that zip tie. And now we've secured our mesh to the wreath. Now what we're going to be doing is making bubbles. They're going to be 5 inches long. I use my ruler for this. It's a lot easier than trying to measure it on my mat. When I measure it on my mat, I have to twist and turn my wreath and it drives me nuts. So this is how I do it. I just stick my ruler in at the end of that zip tie, pull my mesh up, see where I have 5 inches, pinch it, get a pipe cleaner, the 5-inch mark, and twist it. And then before I secure it to this bar here, I'm just going to fluff out that bubble. Secure it to that bar. As you can see, I'm on this bar here, not the outer one. These two inner ones are the bars we're working with. I'm going to secure it nice and tight to the bar. Leave the pipe cleaner alone because we will work with that at the end. And you're just going to push it up. And it creates this cute little bubble. Now, it's not going to look like anything as we're doing it because the bubbles are going to come back, and that's okay. Once we get all our mesh bubbles in, it'll actually secure it nice and tight itself. I'm going to go to the black, put my ruler in, pull up to where I see my 5-inch mark, pinch it, get a pipe cleaner, secure it at the 5 inches by twisting it. Do about 2 twists. And I kind of fluff out my bubble a little bit before I secure it to that bar. Twist it in the back. And there we go. We have our first 2 bubbles already formed. Now, my bubbles are only 5 inches. I don't really like my Wreaths giant and poofy. But you can do yours any size. You can do 6 inches, 8 inches if you want a really big and full wreath. But if you want one like I showed you, I did mine at 5. So that's completely up to you what you want to do. We're going to do 3 of these bubbles, secure them, and then we're going to twist our mesh. Okay, so let's go ahead and do 3. We already have 1. Go to your pipe cleaner. Put your ruler in, pull up on your ruler till you see 5 inches, pinch it, secure it with a pipe cleaner, fluff out your bubble a little bit, and then secure it to that same bar you did your last orange one to. And twist. I twist about 3 times. Okay, we can do another orange one if you'd like. Go to the pipe cleaner, place your ruler down, pull on your mesh till you get to 5 inches, pinch it, secure it with your pipe cleaner. Fluff out your bubble a little bit. And then secure it to that bar, that same bar. And like I said, I twisted about 3 times. Okay, so when you push it up, sorry, my mesh is getting tangled here. Try to keep them separated. When you push, okay, I just made a mistake. See, I went past this bar. Don't want to go past that bar yet. We're actually doing 6 bubbles in each section. So make sure you don't go past that crossbar. We're doing 1 section at a time from this bar to this bar, and there's going to be 6 bubbles in each one. So we have 3 orange, and we're going to push them up, and it's already starting to form. We have to continue. We need 2 more black ones. So stay in this section here. Go to your pipe cleaner. Place your ruler right on top of that pipe cleaner. Pull your black mesh to 5 inches. Pinch it. Secure. Fluff out your bubble. And then secure it to that bar where you had your first black one. Let me flip it around, it's a little bit easier. Okay. 1 more black bubble and then we'll do our twist. Pipe cleaner, pull on your mesh, 5 inches pinch. Twist. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. Fluff your bubble and secure it to that bar there. You're not going to see these like looking goofy at the end. I'll show you how to tuck them in. Okay, now comes the fun part. Push your black bubbles up, your orange bubbles up. You're going to take your black mesh, you're going to fold it over to the right, and you're going to take your orange and flip it over to the left. Okay. And what I like to do is I like to secure, now that we've changed colors, we're going to be doing black on the right side and orange on the left side. But before we start, I like to push my bubbles up so they're nice and tight, and I secure these. So go ahead and secure your black one to the right side. I like to do this because when you twist them like this, it's just much easier to secure it to that side that you twisted it on before you start doing your bubble. Now we have the orange. We're going to secure it to this bar here. And then we're going to do 3 more bubbles in this small section. Turn it around if you have to. And like I said, at this point, make sure you push your bubbles up. And secure it. Okay. Now we have the black mesh on the right and the orange on the left. We're going to go in again with the ruler right against that pipe cleaner. Pull it to 5 inches. Pinch it. Twist, fluff, and put it on the bar. And if you want, you can do all the black at the same time and all the orange. Entirely up to you. I'm going to continue with the black. Once we make one more twist move, I'll end up going off camera to finish up the wreath until we get to the last section here. I'll do the last section with you guys and show you how to secure it with your zip ties. And then we can go ahead and decorate. Because I don't think you need to watch me do all these bubbles. You might get a little bored. I mean, I guess you could fast forward, but it might end up being a 2-hour video because I'm doing this fast for you guys, but I'm actually kind of a slow crafter. And then in the end, if you know you gotta fluff some extra pieces out, you can also do that. Okay, push that up. And remember, we're staying in this section here, we're not going past. We got one more of the black. Pinch it at 5 inches. Secure it. Fluff out your bubble. Add it to the bar and twist. Okay, so now you can kind of bring these back a little bit. Basically, each section you're going to have 3 orange bubbles, 3 black, then 3 black, and 3 orange. Then you're going to twist, and you're going to do the same thing in this section. Then you're going to twist and do the same thing in this section all the way around. But I will definitely show you how to do the last section so we can secure it together. Okay, let's go in and do our orange. Pipe cleaner. Pull to 5 inches. Pinch. Twist, fluff. Got to do a little bit more fluffing with the 21-inch one. Get it on that bar. Turn it over if you have to. Sometimes I do. And secure it. That's one. We're going to go in again. Pull to 5. Pinch. You could do these with any colors you want. I love this bubble method because it doesn't fray. The mesh doesn't fray. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to burn it. But I can also add different colors as I'd like. So you could do 3 different colors if you wanted to. You know, do 3, twist, do 3, you know, whatever you like. You can use, you have 4 bars here. You could do 4 if you wanted. You know, it's entirely up to you and your imagination, whatever. Oops, I didn't fluff. Whatever you'd like to do. It's just once you get the basics down of how to attach this mesh and twist it, you're good to go. I'm going to flip it over, twist, push it up, and we have one more orange one in this section. Pull to 5 inches. I don't like to add a lot of ribbons all over it either because I love to see the look of the mesh. And sometimes if there's too many ribbons and things on it, you lose the mesh. And you don't get to see that beautiful sparkle coming through. Okay, last one. Then we're going to do the twist again. And then I will finish it off camera till I get to that last section. 1, 2, 3. Give that one a 4. Okay. So now what we want to do, we're at a crossbar here, as you can see, and I don't want to add any more mesh because I only like that many bubbles in each section. So right here, you can see we're at our crossbar. This is where we're going to twist our mesh again. So all this black mesh is going to go on our left side. Make sure you move your roll if you have it at the bottom of your, on the floor like I do. And then I'm going to move my orange roll over to the right. And all we're doing is twisting it. Now, I'm going to secure the orange to this crossbar here, kind of like we did with the zip tie. So I'm going to go in at this section here in this way, out this way. So I'm in that crossbar, and I'm going to secure my orange mesh to this side. Actually, I want to secure it to the back. I just tried to get it in so you could see in that cross section. Okay. Flip it and secure it. Alright, so now this section is nice and secured, nice and fluffy. You can fluff it out however you like. And we have it all nice and twisted. We're going to want to secure the black mesh. See how we have it crisscrossed here? We're going to go right over to this crossbar and do the same thing. Pipe cleaner in over that, flip it around so you can see I'm at this crossbar here. And I'm going to twist. Okay, so you're going to do 3 more bubbles of orange on this side and black. Then twist them again, secure them, do 3 more orange and 3 more black. And you're going to continue that throughout your wreath. Okay, so I'm going to finish this up, and when I get up here, I'll come back and I'll do the last section with you, and then we'll secure it with a zip tie. Hi everybody, we're back, and as you can see, we are on the home stretch. I have 2 more bubbles to create, which are our last bubbles, and I did say I'd come back and do those with you because we are going to then, after we create the last 2 bubbles, we're going to secure them with zip ties, very much, actually exactly the same, like we did these 2. I'm going to make my last bubble, and then I'm going to lay my mesh right on top of this one. I'm going to go through the crossbar with my zip tie and secure it at the crossbar. And you're going to do the same thing with the orange. Okay, so let me go ahead and make my last bubble here. And again, your ruler goes in at the pipe cleaner, measure to 5 inches, secure it with your pipe cleaner, and we're going to fluff out that little bubble. I'm going to secure it to that bar. It gets a little tight in the end, so you really want to make sure you take your time and you're, securing it to the right bar. Okay. I'm going to leave that alone for a second, and I'm going to make my last bubble for the black. Ruler goes in, go to 5 inches, pinch it. I ran out of my Chanel orange, so I had to go to the glitter. And I got to tell you, I don't like them as much. These have like a really nice grip, and they're a little bit thicker feeling. I don't know. I just prefer those. But, everybody does wreaths differently. There's so many different techniques and fun ways of decorating them. You definitely want to check out all different kinds of tutorials, because even if you think you know how to do one wreath, somebody always seems to have another tip or a trick you didn't know about. And it's definitely worth watching. Okay, so I've created my last bubbles, and now I want to secure it. I am going to crisscross them just because I want to secure the same color to the same color. You don't necessarily have to do that. I'm just kind of a little weird about it, so I like to do that. So I am going to crisscross my mesh. I just want to adjust it on the floor there. Okay. Then I'm going to lay my orange right on top of the orange where we have that zip tie. I'm going to get out a zip tie and make sure I go through those crossbars again, just like we did in the beginning. And I'm going to pull that zip tie nice and tight. Oh, pulled it too tight and broke it right off. But that's okay, it's still secure. Just going to trim off the last piece. And then I'm also going to go ahead and trim my mesh. Now this you want to be really careful with, because you don't want to cut into any other mesh. So you want to make sure you can see all the ends of your scissor. And we are done. We got that one done. Just going to roll up my orange mesh that's on the floor and get that out of the way. Okay, now we have one left. We crisscrossed. I'm laying it right on top of that black where we have the first zip tie. I'm going through the crossbars once again. And pulling this one nice and tight, maybe not as tight as that first one, so I don't break it. Trim it off. And we want to release our mesh here, so we're going to go ahead and cut that. Now it looks like there's a gap, but there's not. I just have to move it around and fluff it, but I want to get this mesh out of the way. I was actually doing this last night, and a thunderstorm came in. It got so dark in here. I just finished it up and figured I would finish the tutorial today. And I'm glad I did, because it's a lot lighter outside now. Okay. That step is out of our way. And as you can see, we have them secured right on top of each other. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to pull and fluff all of your mesh. Make sure you have them nice bubbles. And this section here is actually where I like to put my ribbon, where I secure it with the zip ties. My cats are like jumping all over the place, wanting to be near me, and they always seem to do this when I'm doing a video. Okay, so on the wreath I showed you, I had my bow on and hanging so that it was on the side, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I have my pipe cleaners here. I'm just going to go right in that section where I had those zip ties. Pull my pipe cleaners through. Now you don't want to pull too tight, because you want your bow to be nice and fluffy, but you do want it to be secure as well. That looks tight enough, and I'm just going to twist. Okay. Turn it back around, and this is where you can move all of your things, fluff it up, adjust it however you like. I usually like to adjust it more when I hang it. Okay, so we just attached our bow. I like to attach the bow because then I know where I want to place these. So I know I want one down here, and I want one just above here. I'm going to kind of space them out and then see if I like that. That looks about right. So I'm pretty much going to do the same thing. I'm going to find my in where I can see a bar. I'm going to put this pipe cleaner through a bar in the back. I'm going to try to put it through a bar in the back. I grabbed the wrong pipe cleaner. There we go. Oop. And this is where it comes in handy that you can turn it around. Okay. I know I want it about right in this section, but I don't want to pull it too tight because I want it nice and fluffy. Almost like flower petals, and then we're going to put the rose in there. Okay, turn it around. and secure it to the bar. And as I said, we're going to tuck all of these things in. You're not going to notice it like this. And then I'm going to pull on my ribbon and adjust it out. Like I said, almost like a flower. And at this point, I'm going to turn my hot glue gun on because that is going to really come in handy because we're going to be gluing in our rose. So let me place these again, see where I want them. This one here and this one here. Okay, get your pipe cleaners, find yourself, move your mesh around, find yourself a bar that you can poke this through and attach it to. I love the decorating part. It's just, that's where you can get creative and do all kinds of things. Secure it to that bar. Flip it back around. And if you pull too tight on it and you want more ribbon to come out, you can always go back and loosen it up a little bit, which I've had to do. Let me pull on that a little, secure it again. And as you see, I'm smashing my bow, but that's okay. You're going to be doing a lot of adjusting when you decorate these. Put that there, like that. Okay. Like I said, I think I want this one here, so I'm going to put this one right about there, because this is going to kind of come to the side here. Okay. Let's find an opening and get this pipe cleaner in. It has been raining here, and actually raining and pouring in storms on and off for weeks now. It's crazy. And then the poor people in Colorado and where they have all those fires are desperate for rain. Everything's flooding here. It just breaks my heart. Okay. And I think we're going to put the last one here. See, I bent it all. We will definitely fix that then. Alright, let's find another bar in there. Get this one through. There they are. Twist and secure, and flip this around. Okay. Now before I go ahead and glue my roses in and the leaves and the beads, I am going to turn this around and I'm going to work on all these pipe cleaners. So basically I start at one end and I take them like this and I kind of roll them up and just tuck them in. And I'll go to this orange one, roll and tuck. Roll and tuck. And tuck them on the inside, you know, on the two insides. You don't want to tuck on the outside just because you don't want anything poking. out. So again, rolling and pushing it in. And I'll show you this up close if you can't. Try to anyway. I'm rolling, and then I'm just tucking it in that mesh there. Again, it might be easier with the orange to see. I'm rolling and just tucking it in. And I'm going to go around and I'm going to do all of them. And I'll come back and we'll continue decorating. Okay everybody, I'm back. I re-fluffed my bow a little bit, and I definitely am going to adjust and trim it when I have it hung, because I like some of the pieces when I hang it, I cut them a little bit shorter. So you have some shorter, some longer, and it just shows off all the different patterns of the ribbon. But I always do that when I hang it. That way I know how it's going to lay and what I'm going to do. But I also re-fluffed out my little ribbon flowers here. And as you can see, let me flip this over. I have rolled and tucked in all of those pipe cleaners so it looks really nice and neat in the back. Some people cut their pipe cleaners. I don't like to do that because when you store these, sometimes they get banged around. You never know how somebody's going to store something. You can suggest how they store it, but maybe something might come loose and they need to tighten it. If you cut those pipe cleaners on them, they won't be able to do that. So that's one of the reasons why I leave them. I have my roses. I have all those petals that we cut off and I told you about. And then I also have the berries. And I have a cutter because I am going to trim some of the berry stems. But for right now, I just popped these roses right off the stem. I left this plastic piece here. I'm going to add some hot glue around the base of this rose. And I'm going to add it right to the center of those ribbons. Okay, so it looks like that. I'm going to do it again over here. Add some hot glue all around and to the base. Put it in the center of those ribbons and let it go and let it dry. And I love the way the ribbon is because it kind of looks like little flower petals or leaf petals, whatever you want to say. I'm going to turn it. Do the same thing here. I don't know about you guys, but when I get done with a wreath, my fingers are so sore, I think, from all of the, you know, pulling on the pipe cleaners and twisting and then getting poked by some of them. And I can usually do about 1, maybe 2 wreaths in a row, and then I have to take a break and go back to paper crafting and give my fingers a little rest. Okay, we're going to put in the last rose. Oh, looks like I need some more hot glue here. There we go. I'll definitely be doing more of these projects, more of the wreath projects. I have some fall arrangements coming up, some fall wreaths, and then, you know, of course, Christmas and Christmas wreaths. Okay, so there's this little piece here that you actually put on, it's actually like put on the stem here. I cut that piece off, or they're plastic. You can pretty much just pull that little knob off there and get it out of your way. And what I like to do is kind of go around and just tuck in the leaves. Make sure I like them where I positioned them before I actually hot glue. Because sometimes you need one here and one there, and if you've already hot glued it before you actually look at the whole thing, then you're kind of stuck. So I'm just going to do this and see if I actually like where I set those, and then I'll go ahead and hot glue them in. And I'm basically pulling back my ribbon, tucking them in there, and pulling them out just to see if I like it. And of course, the rain is coming again. Oh my gosh, just, I swear that you would think it was rainy season here in southern Florida, and it's just raining constantly for weeks. Drives you a little nutty. I saw the sun for like 10 minutes this morning. It was wonderful. I went out on my patio and soaked it up while I could. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I think I kind of like that. I may add or take away a few more when I hang it. Let me actually tilt it up and look and see. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, so I'm going to pull it back out. Add a little bit of glue to the stem and the leaves. Pull the ribbon up, tuck it in there, put it against the mesh, and then lay the ribbon right over them. And do the same thing on this side. Pull that up. A little bit of hot glue on the stem and the leaves. Pull back. And tuck that in and let it dry. And then later, what you want to do is you want to tug on them a little bit just to make sure they're secure. And if they're not, you definitely want to add a little bit more hot glue. I think I want to put another leaf down here. For some reason, I think it needs 3 in this area. Pull that back, tuck in the leaf, and then lay the ribbon right over it. Same thing in here. Hot glue. Pull back the ribbon, tuck in the leaf, and lay the ribbon right over it. I do not know where I'd be without this hot glue gun, let me tell you. I use it for my arranging and even paper, paper crafting. Use it for pretty much everything. I love it. Okay, a little more glue. Pop this back. Tuck it in and lay your ribbon over. You can even go back if you like the look of everything. Add a little bit of hot glue to that ribbon and secure it to the leaf if you want it a little more secure. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of like this one over here. What you want to be careful of is how much hot glue you're using, because you don't want big giant blobs of it. You don't want your hot glue noticeable. Okay, we have 2 more here, and then we're going to figure out our berries. And like I said, I may add, once I hang it, I have actually 2 more stems, so I may add another one. Actually, I think I'm going to add another one right here. Pull off that. But once I hang it, I'll really I'll stand back away from it, check it out, make sure everything looks good. And then I'm going to go ahead, add a little hot glue to that ribbon. Nice and secure. Got this one here. Pull those up. Anyway, I'll stand back from it and I'll really check it out. Make sure it's balanced. Not that I have too many leaves on one side and not on the other. Or too many berries on one side. Okay, let's see. What do you think, guys? I think that's looking pretty good. I like it. Let's work on the berries. So when you get your berries out, your berry stems, they're kind of flat like this. I just like to pull the berries up. Kind of give them a little life. Little dimension there. And then you don't want to cut too close to where these are joined because they'll fall apart on you. But I do want to trim it. I don't want this long stem on here. So I'm going to go right about there. Trim that off. And as you see, they're still attached. If you cut it too high, all of these will fall apart. And then you'll have a problem. But I'm going to do the same exact thing that I did with my leaves. I'm going to pull my berries up. And then I'm just going to pop them in where I think I might want them. Before I actually add the hot glue. Kind of giving it a little design beforehand. I don't like that. Let's see if I'll like this. Yeah, that looks cute. Okay, let's move on. Oh, didn't bring these to life here. Let's spread them out. There we go. Let's get one on the outside here. Be around that area. And we have 2 more sprigs. I'm going to put one in here. I don't know about you guys, but my craft room / art room, because my husband says he likes to call it the art room, it's my sanctuary. I just can really relax and find peace in here, get lost in a craft, not worry about too much. Let's see, do we like that? Yeah, that kind of looks cute. Alright, I'm going to go ahead, pull it back out, hot glue on the berry, slide it in, and just let it dry. Same thing here. Hot glue. Pull it back out. Tuck it in. Might hold it there for a second. Let it dry. Go around and do that to all of the berries. And then of course I'll go through and make sure I don't have hot glue strings hanging all over. But pretty much the only thing we will have left to do after this is to put a hanger on the back. Better hold that there for a second. There we go. And then I'll secure it with a hanger. And I like to just use pipe cleaner to create my hanger. Oh, it's coming out so stinking cute. I love it. I love Halloween. I actually like all the holidays. The only one I don't do too many St. Patrick's Day projects. Maybe one or two. And trying to think. It's pretty much the only holiday I don't really do much for. I'm sure there probably is others. Okay, and our last one. I'm going to put right there and hold. And let's see what it looks like, guys. What do you think? It came out so cute. Okay, so the ribbon is actually on the side of my wreath, so I'm going to look and focus on this point here being the top. So let me turn that around. Get out another pipe cleaner. And I'm going to go in the second bar here. I usually like to go around 2 bars. And then, oh, sorry, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Go around 2 bars here. I'm going to twist these 2 ends together. And because my fingers are sore, I'm just using my pliers. Kind of roll it. And make sure nothing's poking out. Oh! Came apart. Didn't twist it enough there. Okay. And let me pull on it. And then twist. And you got yourself, right here is your hanger. See that loop? And that's it, guys. It's all ready to be hung. Trim up some of your, or not, you don't have to. If you think it needs it, trim it. Fluff up your bow. And that's about it, guys. That's our Halloween mesh, twisted mesh wreath, bubble wreath. I don't know how I'm going to title it. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have fun making yours. Take care and happy crafting.